There's Bill.
Yeah. Oh,
There you go.
is there, are we supposed to make music with this picture?
Yes, you are, Bill. Yep. You can do it by yourself, can't you?
Well,
I won't do it. I don't have it here.
no, I say let us know, let us know, let us know. This is in Norway, actually, and we're out at a ski resort, a cross-country ski resort. That's the national sport in Norway. Great cross-country skiers, and so he's looking at his map there. You can see the landscape is virtually plain, very easy to lose your way, and so he's checking the map to make sure that we get back to the hotel. I probably was an accident that I took this picture. Most of my smoke pictures always turned out very gray because all the white fooled the light meter, but somehow I had this set wrong, I guess, and so got a pretty good exposure.
Yep.
The first time I ever went cross-country skiing, I was in a valley in Evergreen below my sister's house, and I had never done it before, and all of a sudden I just couldn't move, and I thought my skis had frozen to the ground, and I turned around, there was a horse standing on my skis.
Okay.
What an
I guess this is I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas. We actually did have a white Christmas back in 09, or 04 it is, I guess. And so I tried to document that on the windshield of my car.
Good idea.
Now, this is a scene in my backyard. This is in perfect weather. This was like on April 25th, 1917, 2017. Spent a lot of work on that. Spent a lot of money on it. Next slide. August 28th, 2017.
Oh,
That was in Harvey, and so Old Man River, that old man river just keeps rolling along.
Well, none of us forget that one, will it?
Oh, man. That's right.
So that's all behind me now.
Okay, so this is me. I heard, looking at the title, the weather outside is, and of course the next word that comes to mind is frightful. And so I remember that I had shot this earlier this summer when I was doing some experiment with painting with light type stuff, and Cameron was out there. He was being my model for me, and we created this one right here. So this is done with a what's known as a pixel stick. The flames are actually made with a stick of lights, and they're LEDs. Go ahead and go to the next frame just so I can show you if you look closely there, you can see the pattern of those LED lights as I struck them. This is about, I think, a 10 or 15 second exposure. I can't remember. We're in a dark area, and I've got my flash to camera right, and so that's why we have a good still image of him. But I'm using, it's like a wand with a bunch of LEDs in the background that I used to create this light or flame effect in the background.
Yeah.
So that's that. And if you can see my my picture where it's supposed to be me talking, I didn't turn this in, turn the next picture in until yesterday, and it was too late to get it in the program.
Oh, too bad.
This is a family photo. I'm not sure if y'all can see it or not.
No. Carlos, let me just stop real quick.
Oh, okay.
Stop. Can you share? Go down.
Maybe y'all can see it actually when I'm talking. Or okay, let me. Okay, yeah. As I'm talking, I guess you can see it, and then it'll go away later. So this photograph right here was done Saturday night, and so this was my for the weather. Let's see. The weather outside is frightful, but the mood is oh delightful, something like that, right? So this was my delightful this family portrait right here. And again, flash. This is direct flash. I was trying to get my off-camera flash to work, and I couldn't get the darn thing to sync. But I didn't want to wait too long because then I was going to lose the light. So, anyways, this is just with the on-camera flash, but it worked okay. We got great faces on almost everybody except for the young man in the middle, and he had the same face on every exposure, so I couldn't do a face swap to fix that. Oh well. Regardless, that's what we got.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Bonnie.
Next. Well, many of y'all might know, David and I went to the Tetons at the end of September. And so about my weather, the weather outside is delightful, as Carla said earlier. So this happens to be one of our shots from Schwabacher's landing in the Tetons. And we were fortunate enough to get a little light snowing the night before. And so it was on the top of the mountains.
Beautiful.
And this is, once again, the Tetons, Grand Tetons, but this is just a shot off the side of the road. Most people probably don't even pull over for here. As you can see, the colors are starting to show up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like the fence along there.
Yep.
There. Yeah.
And of course, you can't go to Tetons without having animals from the Emersons.
Nice.
So this was delightful as well.
Yeah.
They call these black bears, but as you can tell, they're not quite black. But he was busy eating those little berries on those trees.
Yeah.
Yeah, that actually climbed up in a tree.
Yeah.
Then the tree off the ground eating those
He was
berries.
up quite a bit.
Yeah.
And kind of going, what are y'all doing here? I'm busy.
Yeah, that's right.
Doesn't look like those branches should support him. Sorry.
Yeah, well, we were also surprised that some of the things he climbed on supported him.
Yeah,
Crazy.
Yeah.
but he was very good at it.
He just kept going up.
Oh, beautiful.
Ooh.
And here's my little secretive little coyote. It was the most perfect light on him.
Well, getting his eyes in focus between all those reeds and stuff is pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. And also not to be in the middle of his eye.
And it's very unusual because we're shooting below, that he's actually up above us.
He had crossed in front of the road in front of us and then went up on the ridge.
Hmm.
So we're actually shooting up at him.
Yeah, trying to get the thing in focus would have been tricky.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, we're back at the Tetons. The weather's still delightful. This is the old barns there, and this is Mormon barns, but it's right at daylight. I mean, you can see a little bit of the light up on the top of the mountains there. So I had to work on that a little bit, but if you wait too long, the sun comes up, and there's 450 of you friendly photographers right next to you trying to take the same picture, and you get all these shadows around there. So you had to do it before you got shadows, or you had just people shot in front of you.
Nice. Shane, come back, Shane.
Hey, that's right. They're right around the corner.
Yeah. And then, again, this is the oxbow, they call it there, and it's off the side of the road, and just a gorgeous shot with reflections in the water, and like Connie said, the leaves are turned, so it's really, really pretty place.
Yeah.
And then we couldn't do without the bisons, you know. It's the big thing. That big bull there, he had his little lady right there with him, and he wasn't letting her get out of his sight, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And the colors are exactly what they were.
Actually, he toned them down. They were so brilliantly
brilliant.
golden.
This is on Two Ocean Lake, and this moose is at one end of the lake, but we got pictures of him with the reflection of the water too. But this is the most colorful place you've ever seen. And the moose had just walked past, and so we got his picture there. Really a beautiful scenery.
That afternoon golden light.
Yeah, it was just before sunset.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Chris?
Oh, well, hi. Okay, so I was driving up in Pennsylvania, going to go see my son when he lived up that way, and we just drove down the road, and I said to my wife, hey, turn here, and I'm going to get out of the car and go take a picture. So I just got out, I got down in the stream, and thank goodness for carbon fiber tripods and all that stuff, but got a nice shot of a little fall stream in Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm. sorry.
Nice.
Okay. Oh, well, this is the kind of weather we have had in past years, and thank goodness we haven't had it this year. But my little granddaughter had come to visit from Alaska, and she loved the instant lake we had in our front yard one day. You know, this is over in South Woodland Hills. I know everybody, we all hate these floods. Well, luckily, we have never had water in our house, and we're above the floodplain, but some of our neighbors down the street have. So anyway, but this is just the weather outside could be this way, but luckily it hasn't been this way. Oh, and this is over at I'm having
Sheldon Lake.
so,
Is this Sheldon Lake?
yeah, Sheldon, and they get those beautiful. They're like I guess they're like a type of water lily. And about this time of year, they're all turning brown, and they're just, to me, they say fall is coming, winter, you know. So
Yeah.
it's just nice.
Yeah.
And one last one, and this was taken up in the Brecon Beacons in Wales, and I think about what Edward or our poet laureate Frost, his poem about two trails came in the woods, and I took the one that was least traveled, and it was all the better. But anyway, these are two deer tracks, and one went to the right and one went to the left, and I don't know
Like
which
the
one.
animals split in half, and half of them went.
Well, I don't know which one was the better one, but it was the one less traveled. Anyway, so those are my pictures.
Emily.
Okay, this is one of my favorite little cypress swamps right here in Kingwood area. There's a place east of the, west of the Lake Houston Parkway bridge that just has wonderful cypresses, and it's cool, and if you go under some branches, you have to know where it is. You go under some branches on a cypress tree, and then you're in this beautiful cool area, just lovely.
Nice.
And then I was just out a week or so ago, and oh my God, 10 million cormorants.
Yeah.
They were everywhere. This was on Lake Houston on the North Shore.
Yeah. The geese have really come in this year too. I've seen big flocks of them out there.
Oh, that's white pelicans.
Oh, I mean, not white pelicans, sorry. Yeah.
Emily, you look like you're in cormorant rush hour there.
Yeah, I was. I mean,
Right.
I'll bet you there were 500 of those guys
Oh yeah.
flying by me. And then this little guy swam right in. I was taking a cut between a couple of islands, and this little guy swam right past me. I couldn't believe it. Usually they run the other way, but I think he was already going when he saw me. His girlfriend was on shore, and she ran the other way. But I thought it was kind of cool.
Nice.
Definitely.
And then they were playing ball down there at the park near the little on
River,
Woodland Hills, the little water park there.
riverfront or whatever it is, a river.
Yeah,
River Grove.
yeah. Well, it's before River Grove. This was by the
Horse stable.
By the ag barn and all that.
Oh yeah.
but I thought it was fun watching the little kids play.
Yeah.
I was going to do that too.
Well, what's weather without a thermometer? This was taken at Furnace Creek in Death Valley. It was 118,
Oh,
120 degrees. We were there in August. I had to get a picture of the thermometer.
oh my God.
I got a picture of the thermometer when we were in Yellowstone that was like 20 below or something. So that's,
Well, hold on, Chuck.
yeah.
He's going there.
We were on a ski trip in Breckenridge, and I got up one morning, and this was the indoor-outdoor thermometer.
Oh,
30 below.
Oh,
And believe it or not, we went skiing.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Got all the way up to 20 below. We could make one run down the mountain, and we had to go in and warm up.
They have something for that. It's
Frostbite.
called blue vine. It's
That's as cold as I've ever been. It's 30 below. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
And this was taken on a snowmobiling trip last winter in Yellowstone. And those bison they're sure rooting around a lot, trying to find some grass to eat. And
wow, that's fabulous.
snow doesn't seem to bother them too much. Okay.
Jim, you amaze me with your trips. You do.
And then this was it. The guys are on
Beautiful.
the same snowmobile trip. We were walking down the boardwalk, and I saw that picture with the steam and with the little rivulet running, and turned out to be a good picture.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can just get dumb lucky. So I thought that was a good picture.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And all right, I think that's it. Yeah, John.
Good evening. I'm figuring that the weather outside is turning to fall. And every now and then down at River Grove Park, you get a leaf caught up in a spider web. And it's unique to find them when the sun's hitting them. So that's what this is leaves are beginning to fall in the fall. Next one, please.
I want to drop.
And then like this morning, fall brings in all the fog. And this again is at River Grove Park.
It was
year or
very
so ago.
foggy. Yeah.
I was down there walking early in the morning and the sun was coming up and the fog hadn't dissipated yet. And then the next thing that comes after fall is the frost. And again, this is, I spend a lot of time walking in the morning down in River Grove Park, and this is a frosty little cold morning down there in the park.
Wow, that was here?
That,
Yep.
is that, I think that's called hoarfrost. I think.
Yep, that's what it is. That's hoarfrost.
Is that in East End or River Grove?
I'm sorry, it's in East End Park, not
East
River
End.
Grove. All of them are in East End, not River
Yeah.
Grove.
You get this out in that field, in that meadow, a lot of times on a cold morning.
Yeah.
Well, this picture was actually taken as you walk past the dog play area
Yeah.
and go down and come to that first little boardwalk that goes across that little gully.
Yeah.
It was right there, and they were strawberry plants and back in behind the bushes there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
John?
so I was thinking about maybe the 4 seasons of winter, spring, summer, and fall. And this is this past summer right here in right outside my house. You know, you don't ever get to see a rainbow that enough. So, and then a double rainbow. So I was able to capture this double rainbow.
Beautiful.
Nice.
This here is I lived in Ohio for a little while, and there's a little park not far from where I lived. So it has a little covered bridge, goes across a little creek, and they decorate it for the holidays. So, wintertime.
Yep, beautiful.
I've heard of that.
And this again, I've lived in Ohio. This is another park, right not far from the other one with the snow and with the fall colors.
Hey, where in Ohio, John?
This is right outside Cincinnati.
Okay.
And not to be left out on the lightning shots, I was able to get this. I was in Carson National Monument Park outside Taos, New Mexico, on a trip with a bunch of people, and we were leaving the park. It was dark, and one of the gentlemen I was with is a pilot for Delta, and he said, "Hey, we need to stop, let everybody else go because there's going to be a lightning storm in a couple of minutes." And honestly, we stopped, pulled off, grabbed our cameras out, everybody left. We grabbed a couple of lightning shots.
You took that out through the window?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, just
A lot of people don't realize it, but Kingwood has one of the highest number of lightning strikes in the U.S., but you never see them because of the damn trees. We've had 2 trees on a year apart hit by lightning.
Yeah. I've lost 2 here too.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
our
it's just-
neighbor had a 20-foot ball of fire come rolling down his tree, and when it hit the ground, little balls of fire wherever there were roots shooting across his yard.
Yeah, I mean, this is this is just sheer luck. Pull over, roll the window down, and it was pouring raining too. And I mean, just start snapping away.
Wow.
Beautiful.
I don't think Kathy showed up tonight.
I think she did.
Kathy, are you?
No, she's not. So Jim, you gonna act for Kathy?
Well, that's something. I don't know if that's I think it's a statue. I don't know.
I think it is.
It's snowing. And it
Ooh,
looks like the thaw.
And you got some freezing stuff.
Yeah.
This is pretty.
Oh, that's
Nice.
beautiful.
That looks like
that.
at East End Park.
It does look like East End
Yeah.
Park. I almost can tell you where that is. Almost, I think.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's probably, they went to Florida earlier this year. That's probably down.
Oh,
Oh,
you're right.
Fort
That's
Worth or someplace like that.
pretty with the stars and everything. That's well
Yeah.
done.
Yep.
Nice.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah, the weather outside in Maui was wonderful. Absolutely fantastic.
Where was this?
In Maui.
Okay.
Now, this is in Waikiki. And the
Quit
weather
speaking,
outside
Mike.
was
Not Mark, we
You
can't
need to
hear
talk straight into the mic. You're
Yeah,
fading
you have
in
to
and out.
talk into the mic.
good, didn't I? Okay, well, anyway, I saw this scenery on Waikiki Beach and thought the Martians had landed.
What is it?
It's two young girls or ladies that had their hair done and wanted to go down to the beach. If you notice, the one on the right has a selfie stick and they're taking a picture.
Oh,
Okay.
I think they're of Asian descent.
I thought they were Wisconsin fans and they're cheeseheads or something.
Oh, it's people from Florida. They're for orange heads.
pumpkin head.
Yeah, I to tell you the truth, I think they're a little Oriental.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
We've seen those before.
I've never seen that. It's
That
interesting.
was a real treat.
Entertaining when you see them now.
Now, this is a little cold outside, but again, up in Yellowstone, looking up towards, what is the peak?
Mount Washburn.
Mount Washburn.
Yep.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
wow.
And this was, the weather outside was miserable, but it was still fun going through the ships.
And where was that?
Down in Galveston, the tall
Oh.
ships they had a couple years
Oh,
ago.
okay. Yeah. Okay.
All right, we have Yellowstone again. The weather outside is hailing. That's last summer we
Wow.
had everything you could imagine in Yellowstone while we were there. And of course, right outside of Yellowstone, before we went in, it was snowing.
It's a nice picture. Yeah.
He doesn't look happy at all.
No.
He didn't have a choice.
Is that the horse that was standing on Emily's skis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looked a lot like that. And every time I'd push him away, and I'd take a few steps, and he'd be back on my skis, and he'd grab my camera strap and yank it, and my camera was like, poking
my
me.
goodness.
Well-trained horse.
This was early morning on Yellowstone River. The fog was just very dense and it was just nice and peaceful and calm.
Yeah, gorgeous.
Where are the geese? Where are the geese? Where are the-
Hmm.
Hey, Suzanne, is she here?
I don't think so.
I don't think we've seen her.
I didn't see her name. Okay.
See your name, no. Oh.
Okay. North of Brenham. It's foggy.
Yep.
I think I photographed that cow before.
You recognize it? Okay.
I know I have. It's up. If it's north of Brenham, yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Wow.
Oh,
Hawaii.
the rainbow without the rain.
Nice coloring.
Yeah.
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 Kind of a rainbow mix.
Yeah. It looks like a rainbow mix, doesn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Peladuro.
I love Paladora. That's a nice canyon, a nice place to camp.
Ooh.
Oh, here we go.
The flood again. Oh,
Thank God we didn't have it this year.
Boy, that is, those are awful. I mean, those brings back bad memories. That's awful.
Yeah, I've seen entire, you know, the little larvae for the ants. Those white casings are watertight, and so they float. And then the ants climb on top of them, and there are little islands of floating fire ants.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful, even if you're on a kayak.
Is this Kingwood Lakes? Where is what is this down by the
Yeah,
golf
that's-
course?
that's what it looks like, Kingwood
That
Lakes.
bridge,
Yeah.
one of those bridges over near the golf course. I
Yeah, it
think.
looks like it.
Nice. Ooh.
Steve.
Okay, so this is a picture I took in Rapid City, South Dakota on Skyline Drive
I see a face.
summer ago, and it just
Exactly.
looked like the north wind was blowing at the face.
Yeah.
It does.
That's
It
really cool.
does.
Looks like
I was
Crazy
just
Horse.
lucky to get it. I kept shooting, and all of a sudden it changed into this face for me.
Wow.
It looks like Bob Dylan or something.
Or God.
The answer is
Indian
blown in the
chief or
wind,
something.
right?
Yeah, some sort of Indian chief or something. Yeah.
All right, next one. All right, so this is in the
nice.
Badlands of South Dakota, and
Yeah.
you know, the weather outside is good if you're not underneath the thunderhead. And so this was kind of at sunset with a big storm cloud coming through, and we were really hoping to be able to do some astrophotography that night, but it didn't quite happen because the cloud bank just kind of went right over the center of the Milky Way, but was able to get a good sunset shot.
Nice. Yeah.
Wow.
And so here the weather outside is frigid. This is outside of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. It was 4 below, but the sunrise was beautiful. And this is, well, near the top of Mauna Kea in the Big Island of Hawaii. We didn't go all the way to the top, but we went to one of the last spots where they do some astrophotography and stuff. And this was sunset, and you know the weather was just perfect for this kind of a shot.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Beautiful.
All right. So the weather outside is dusty. This was the Saharan dust storm back earlier this year. This is taken from, it's called Lakeview Park, which if you Google it, there's a million of them. But it's Westlake, Houston, just south of the river, first left. There's a little park down there.
Yep.
Bunch of cypress trees. I ran around like crazy trying to find some good composition to get the sky in.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
That's where I launch from on my kayak a lot.
Oh, is it?
Mhm.
Moving way further west, this was just a peaceful day. This is the North Shore of Oahu, with this strange palm tree that grows out at parallel to the ground and then turns up at the last minute.
Huh.
But behind me, about 200 yards, there was a public beach access and about, I don't know, a couple hundred school kids running around like crazy. And my wife and I took a little walk down the beach, and this is just right there, and it was calm and peaceful, and yeah.
Nice.
So peaceful.
Great.
Nice.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Now a little colder. This is Vail, Colorado. We went, it's in the little city of Vail there. And we went about a week before full out ski season opened. So everything was open, but nobody was there. Well, we don't ski. I've got really bad ankles. I can't do that kind of thing. But we really enjoyed just kind of hiking around and looking at the scenery. A little frozen creek there. I forget what the creek is called, but on a bridge going over to the.
Nice. Is that eight?
I believe it is. Yes.
Yeah. Looks terrific.
Yeah, I rested it kind of on a railing of the bridge we were on. Kind of got down low, rested it there, so it wouldn't move much. I didn't want to hike around with a tripod. We were just kind of out wandering. So.
Yep.
Pretty.
And one more snow picture. The weather outside is fun. So I don't know about you guys, but anytime I have my camera in my hand and I'm I'm enjoying things. So this is in Wisconsin. My wife's uncle lives like a block away from a golf course there, which you don't golf in the winter, but you can sled on it. So we were out there for a while sledding, and this is one of my daughters having a blast running down the hill there.
Yeah, she does look like she's
That's
having a
an
good time.
awesome picture.
She had some good speed going too. They were having a blast, just one after another. We were out there for hours. It was such a fun time.
Well, you see the snow flying off that board. It is.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great shot.
Okay,
Great.
this is my contribution to the snow pictures. This is actually our house in Kingwood in 2008. We had the big snowstorm in 2008. I just shot it with a inexpensive point and shoot camera. Just stepped out in front, took a picture of it. The quality of the picture was pretty poor, so I decided to change it to black and white. You can see the original color picture down in the left-hand corner, thinking that I might be able to make that snowman on the doorstep look ominous and scary, but it didn't work out. So.
It's interesting with the comparative shots of color versus black and white.
Yeah, it does have a different feel too when you go black and white, of course. Yeah,
I like the black and white.
Now this is the weather outside of Smoky. In 2018, my wife and I did a road trip in Northwest USA. Of course, they had the wildfires were burning, and this is not fog. This is actually wildfire smoke. And we were on US 12 West, approaching Mount Rainier. It's a very scenic highway. We dropped down into this valley, and then it was filled with the wildfire smoke. And it was interesting because this is the actual color of the smoke. It had this blue tinge to it because the sun was shining, the sun was up. There was this blue lake right there in front of us. So I didn't modify the color at all. This is actually the color of the landscape because of the combination of the smoke and the reflections from the sky and the water. So it turned out kind of interesting.
Nice reflection and everything, yeah.
Love it.
The weather outside is windy. I had actually an opportunity to be the yacht club photographer in Lagos, Nigeria for 2 years. And so this was, so I had a chance to, I actually got a fair number of my pictures published in yachting magazines in Europe, only because they were so fascinated that a place like Lagos, Nigeria would even have a yacht club. Not because the pictures were probably not that great, but I did like this picture. I like the wind in the sails. I like the symmetry and the color of the sails. And I just thought it was kind of a nice picture.
That's awesome. My husband and I used to race catamarans for years and years. I love them.
They're
but
fun.
you can't take a camera on it. It's not very good for taking pictures from, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun. I'm not a sailor, but I enjoy taking photographs of it. They can do some crazy stuff with these catamarans, believe me.
So what years were you the professional photographer for the Lagos, Nigeria Yacht Club?
Yes, that's my official title.
And what years?
Oh, it was 2014 and 2015. I worked for an oil company. I retired. I was my wife and I were expat in Nigeria for 4 years. And
Great. And we had some friends that lived there. I was just checking to see if you were there at the same time, but you weren't.
Oh, okay. But that was later or earlier?
Earlier.
Okay, it's an experience. 4 years in Nigeria is an experience.
Yeah, that's one place I told them I wouldn't go when I went back and worked contract back on mobile. Said I don't want to go to Nigeria.
Now not to get off the subject, but we kind of fell in love with the place. It's just so crazy. It's just there's just nothing like it. Now this was, I call the weather outside is tranquil, and this is actually parasailing off a bluff in Cape Town, South Africa. And I think the calmness of the sea and the parasailer, that's not me. I didn't parasail. I just took photographs. And so I think it had a very calm, tranquil feel to it. If you're interested, the island up in the upper left-hand corner is actually where Nelson Mandela was in prison for 18 years. So a very calm, kind of tranquil shot.
Nice.
Nice.